Hey guys, hello. How you doing? How are you doing? Hey Trent, what's up? Hello Sven, thanks for joining. All right, so hey there, welcome here. Hello Juan, EA. All right, so let's give it let's give a second. Hey Dominic, let's give a second just to see if more people can join. Um, I'm still looking into this streaming tool, but I think, well, by this time you can obviously listen to me, but can you see my screen now? Can you see my trading view? Hey Chen, how are you? Hey Sven. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So yeah, I need to get more experience here. If I want, yeah, I want to just I just want to make sure that you have the best experience here. So that I'm just trying to improve the streamings, right? All right. So let's get to it. All right. So today, this morning, I was trying to find opportunities here. I think I think we should start with what I'm trying to look for. All right. So usually my technique or my strategy or my playbook, it's waiting at least 10 minutes for the market to settle a bit. Sometimes, I mean, uh, right at the open, it could be messy, right? I mean, it could be tricky. You can have a lot of fake moves. So usually I wait at least 10 minutes. I like to wait 15 minutes. So, and usually by the 10 or 15 minutes, the both indices, the SPY and QQQ, they already are showing us what kind of movement they will give us, like the trend or the direction of what they are trying to do, right? So after identifying the direction or the trend on the indices, I then go back to look at my charts, and I try to identify the one name that is moving on the same direction and also with relative strength or relative weakness, right? So for example, today we got both indices moving to the upside, like really early on the session. So I was just trying to look into the names that were following the indices, and then after looking at the ones that were following the indices, I was trying to find the one that was having very similar movement, or like with the relative strength. So that's kind of my reasoning process. That's kind of how I choose what ticker to trade in the morning. So the pre-market, it's important for me because I can identify the ones with relative strength or relative weakness. However, it's until the market opens where I actually start looking for the name to trade. All right. So hope this is clear for you. Looking at the chat, apparently there's some lagging. Is the lagging is in the chat or is in the audio or yeah. All right. Okay. So basically that's kind of my reasoning process. So for example, today after this drop, I mean, Apple was kind of out of my sight just because it was moving very differently to the indices, right? So we had both indices moving strong to the upside, but Apple was actually looking for some movement to the downside. So after some, like probably an hour, so we had this break displacement. I know this is a small displacement, but I mean there's some displacement here. And then the retest of this 1 minute opening range. So actually I did something for you guys. I tried to squeeze the tags for the levels. I hope you can actually look to them. It's the 5 minute opening range high, the 1 minute opening range high, pre-market high, 1 minute opening range low, 5 minute opening range low, previous day low, pre-market low. All right. So we had this break, displacement, and retest of the 1 minute opening range. All right. 1 minute opening range, and you will say, hey Neto, why you are not opening the position here on the first retest? Well, it's why is it? Well, here I'm looking at the I draw these white boxes as order blocks for the indices. So once the indices were showing, like this this movement to the upside, or this break, this breakout from the order block, was this movement here. So this is this movement here. So once we had this breakout on the indices, and we were having this retest on Apple, you could actually open this position here. For being honest, here I'm just trying to identify a round number. It's 206.50. I would like to draw this one to this, that this is the previous day high. However, 206.50 was a 3.4 risk reward ratio trade. So if you enter here, your risk was very low. Why? Because your risk was right below the 1 minute opening range, and the potential for this trade was actually very good. I was looking for the previous day high, but this is very decent, right? Right the first candle was an amazing. This was an amazing thing. Even to high of the day. Well, high of the day was 1 to 2.5. However, as I said, if you were looking to a round number, let's say 106.50 here, it was a 1 to 3.4 risk reward ratio trade. So, and again, we had this pullback, and it was to the same levels. Can you see here, guys? We actually had this pullback, almost retesting the pre-market high, but the 1 minute opening range was holding really well, and I want you to see the correlation on the movements, right? So right here, this is this is a very nice retest, and this is the retest of the order block here, and this is the retest of the order block here. So can you see here, guys? We are having the exact same movement on our tech name on Apple, but also on both indices. They were retesting this order block created on a down close candle. So this was another opportunity here. It's kind of a 84% rule, as you can see. I actually copy pasted this long position tool, and right to the same level, 206.50. It was again a 1 to 3.4 risk reward ratio trade. So this was actually a better entry than the first one. But anyways, both of them were really good. Probably this one, the very first one, was a bit harder to identify. However, if you can see, the same candle on QQQ was also kind of retesting this order block. So as you can see, you can always try to find correlation between the tech names and both indices. So that was all that I saw for Apple. Let me go to the chat. Someone took Apple or something. That someone has a question here. Hey, Jules. Hola, Carla. Hey, Joe. All right. So no questions for Apple. I think this were the only two opportunities here. I mean, there's people that they say, hey, you know what? We broke this placement and retest this the low of the 1 minute opening range. But as you know, I don't like to trade inside the ranges. I would like to use, you know, like the low of the 1 minute opening range or the 5 minute opening range. But if we are looking for weakness, not as a bounce or rejection starting from here. That's why I don't even look at this. All right. So that was Apple. Let's go to AMD. So AMD, this offered a few nice opportunities. As you can see, we drop right into this 90.59. This is a key level on the 15-minute chart. And also this was the daily gap fill. All right. So remember we were talking yesterday. There's a difference between the daily gap and gaps in the daily chart. All right. So the daily gap, it's the difference between yesterday's close that it was 90.40 and today's open, and today's open was 91.60. All right. So the first candles we closed this daily gap. And I actually have this yellow box, and I want to show you what's this about. AMD. All right. So these two boxes, if we go to the daily chart, now this is the daily chart, we have two different gaps, one to the upside and the other to the downside. So the downside was the gap created from Tuesday to Wednesday. I mean, from 2 days ago to yesterday. So this is the gap on the daily chart. It's Tuesday's highs all the way to Wednesday's low. All right, that was it. That was the right level. All right. So that's a gap on the daily chart, and the other gap was this one. It was created from the low of Tuesday, April the 15th, to the high of Wednesday, April the 16th. And why this box is smaller now? Well, because every time a candle was, you know, going into this gap, I just move it. So for example, today we already filled this gap. So this box is actually, let me, well, I'm not gonna delete it yet, just for you to take a look into the other charts. But this is how I draw my gaps in the daily chart, and it's different than my daily gap. So daily gap, it's the difference between yesterday's close and today's open. All right. So once we said that, sorry if I'm just trying to explain, because if someone just joined the community or just joined these kind of sessions, I want to give you a lot of context so you don't get lost into the explanation. All right. So once we fill this gap, this daily gap, we started with a relative strength. We went to the upside, and then we had just a few red candles actually. So we created an order block here. I mean, technically you can actually have these white box, these order blocks like here and here, but I mean, every time I was moving up the price, I was just trying to move off the order blocks. And for example, this one was a strong one because we had a lot of consolidation here, right? So we had a lot of consolidation here. That is telling me that there's a lot of orders to get that wants to be filled, or that went filled here on this area. So that is a good indication that this order block was actually strong. So once we broke this order block, we had displacement and then retested here. I want to show you something, guys. So what is actually happening in this area? Well, both indices were breaking and retest the same order block. So here it's a good opportunity to open a position. All right. So what I was looking here, it's open a position here. My risk was at the very bottom of this retesting candle, and I was looking for the previous day high. So this previous day high is our external liquidity here. And if you hold to here, this was a 1 to 3.9 risk reward ratio trade. But if you were holding to high of the day, this was actually a 1 to 1.8 risk reward ratio trade. So just to high of the day was a very nice opportunity. So if you sold some of your contracts here, you easily can manage to hold your position on this pullback. And why you are holding on this pullback? Because if you are having context from the indices, you are looking that we are still with the structure intact, right? So we are still creating higher highs, higher lows. The same here, right? I mean, you can see it here. We are creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and this low, I mean, we are still with our structure intact, and we kept it that way. So I know sometimes it's hard to say like, okay, well, I mean, I just trim my position here, maybe 30% or maybe 50% of my position at the high of the day. And now we are actually in my entry point. So probably here we are break even or maybe small red on the rest of our contracts. But if you are looking at the bigger picture or the larger picture, we are still with the market structure intact. And also if you are using context on the indices, they are also keeping the same structure, right? So if you hold it to previous day high, you actually didn't have any strong reaction on the previous day high, and the target was that if you get to the previous day high, probably you will fill the gap on the daily chart, and that's exactly what happened here. So this was kind of a nice target to have, but I will wait to see the reaction here. And can you see here, guys? I mean, the price hold very well here at the previous day high. So we actually had a nice break, displacement, and retest of previous day high. So if you were, what time was it? Well, it was 12:25. I mean, this was late on the date. However, context, what was happening on the indices? Keeping market structure. What was happening with price on AMD? Break, displacement, and retest of previous day high. So this is actually a very good and nice opportunity here. So if you were taking something here, your risk was very clear. Maybe here 93.70 or something like the bottom of these wicks, and your target was the gap fill. And this only because you had very low risk here. This was a 1 to 5 point something risk reward ratio trade. So we had these two very good, very nice opportunities on AMD. So anyone here took AMD today? No one? All right. So let me take a look to the chat. Deuce, with Mina's tool, are you able to change the colors and style of your levels? Yes, I am. I actually changed the colors. And for example, my previous day low and my pre-market low are dotted lines instead of solid lines. So I mean, you can use some customization there, and you can actually change the name of the tags. I mean, the original said like 5 minute candle something, so I just changed it to 5 minute opening range. PDH is previous day high, PDL previous day low. So I mean, there's some customization available there. So okay, so Rider Relief Productions. I took QQQ on that same move on this one, the one at the top, like 1220 something. That that was a nice one, and that was a nice one because also we had two different things. On QQQ, we were above previous day high, but also on SPY, it was kind of clear that we are gonna sweep the previous day high. So the you had two very clear objectives, and also on QQQ, you can see. I mean, we had this 465 key level, so that was kind of the push that we needed. If SPY was to hit the previous day high, on QQQ, you had this key level on the daily chart that was kind of I mean, if SPY was pushing to the previous day high, that will pull the or push QQQ to the top of this level. So yes, this both indices and tech names, this was kind of an easy move. All right, EA, I have a question. So we can look at retest at 1 minute range and 5 minute range. If 5 minute fails, even if yes, I mean the answer is yes. The reason I have both 1 minute opening range and the 5 minute opening range is because sometimes the retest comes to the 1 minute instead of the 5 minutes. So I'm just trying to be aware of all of the key levels available here, right? DC, oh, I like this YouTube thing. I can yeah, you can rewind in real time. Yeah, exactly. Ready, QQQ at 1242, 1242. Yeah, exactly. That's a nice push. I mean, this is a break, displacement, and retest, and this key level on the daily chart. Yeah, so that was a nice one. That was a nice one. Very very good. All right. So let's go. You know what, DC? I wasn't aware, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I think this is kind of some of the good perks or the best perks of YouTube. You can actually rewind a few seconds or even the whole session, but if you can just jump into the live thing, you just drag the line to the last minute. Yeah. All right. So okay. So let's go to Amazon. Amazon, I found two different opportunities, and they are super clear. Super clear. So let me tell you, I was able to take this first trade here. So let me show you. So the first one, it's the break, displacement, and retest of the 5 minute opening range. Can you see here? This is the 5 minute opening range, 181.54. So this is the break, displacement, and retest, and I opened my position around here when this green candle accelerated to the upside and was above this red candle here. And I was I was aiming to this 182.57. The 182.50. It's why 182.50? It's an important number here. Well, the answer of every day, right? Because it's a round number, because it's the strike. So that was a key level. So just to the strike, just to this 182.50, this was a 1 to 2.4 risk reward ratio trade, right? So I got this, yeah. All right. So I got this I got to ride this trade to 182.50. For being honest, I took out most of my position here, like 70% of my position here. And the reason is because I had a phone call this morning. So I didn't want to take a call with an open position here. But as you can see, we were respecting the market structure. So once we have this, let me show you what I did, because I mean, I'm not super proud of this, but when we couldn't reclaim the high of the day here, and we went all the way down to pre-market high, this is actually a second trade, but let me show you. Like here, I decided like okay, well, I'm done for the day. I'm done with this trade. So just let me close this trade, and I actually closed my position here. And look what I missed, right? Like, again, I was okay with this because this was part of my plan. So I mean, I just missed this, and I had like a few runners, like 5 contracts here, and I took my 5 contracts all the way like to this pullback. So again, I took my runners like here, and I missed the other thing. I'm not super proud of this, but I mean, I didn't want to go to another activity with an open position. So just for you to know. So this was the first opportunity here, but guess what? I think we can easily spot this other opportunity here. So this is the break, good displacement and retest of pre-market high. All right, pre-market high. And what are you looking here? On both indices? Let me show you. This is going to be important. Let me show you this 439.85. It's a SPY. 439.85. What do you see on this 539.85? Well, this is a strong, solid key level on the daily chart. So this is that's the reason why this line is not blue, it's orange. And also on QQQ, I had these 2 key levels, right? So you can see if you have a strong level on the daily chart, one that actually has a lot of touches and, you know, like strong reactions like here, this is what I do. I mean, instead of just having my daily highs and lows, I also have these orange lines. Like this is my daily chart on SPY. As you can see, I'm just drawing the next highs of the day. Well, I'm not drawing this because this is too close of these key levels, and I think this is like more important than this one. So this is kind of how I draw my lines, right? So I go from the daily chart, looking for these gaps on the daily chart, and also just drawing my previous day highs and lows, and then I switch to the 15 minutes, right? And on the 15-minute chart, this is where I draw my white lines. So this is very, very similar to what Tony does, just with my personal twist, right? Okay. How do you follow the most up to the second news releases? Well, I'm trying not to follow the news. I'm just trading my levels. Okay. All right. So I was looking at this. So when this retest on the pre-market high, what was happening on SPY? Well, we were consolidating and breaking out from this key level. I just show you this key level is a strong key level on the daily chart. So I was pretty sure that we will have a breakout from here because all of this consolidation, right? So this is a very good spot to have another position here. So let's say that you have your position here, your risk was right below pre-market high, and you were looking for round numbers. Let's say 184. Let's say 184. Well, 184 was a 1 to 4.5 risk reward ratio trade. But if you were looking just to high of the day, this was actually a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. But because, can you see the price action here? I mean, we barely have a reaction on high of the day. So this trade could easily went all the way down, all the way up to 183.50 maybe. So 183.50, kind of a round number. This was a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. Again, no reaction here. I mean, well, we had some sort of reaction here. So, but what was happening on both indices? They kept pushing up, and here we were respecting the market structure. So this was at least a 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. Hey Neto, I missed the first, I missed the second. Was there any third entry here? Well, I think there was. So here we had this new high of the day. So we had this down close candle. So this is my new order block here. So remember, the order blocks can travel, right? I mean, they cannot travel, but you can move your boxes or your order blocks boxes. You can, like, move them. So to find the most important, right? I mean, because if you were having, for example, this one, well, this one was actually a good one. Can you see? Well, the thing is that, I mean, you guys can move your order blocks here. Well, that was the reason I didn't move this, because that was kind of the same movement on both indices. Well, but here we had this break, displacement, and retest of this order block. So yeah, it went a little bit deeper, but what was happening on both indices? They were bouncing out of this order block here. So I say, well, I mean, this has been following the indices. Let's see what happened here. So let's say you open a position here. It's 1049, you open your position here right above the edge of the order block. Your risk, it's at the bottom of these candles, and you were aiming to 185. That's a round number, and this was a 1 to 2.3 risk reward ratio trade, and actually it went higher, right? I mean, it went higher later in the day, but just here, I mean, if you were looking for something short, and I mean short on time, so this was actually a very nice trade. So again, I think that was everything for Amazon, at least during our trading time. Let me go to the chat. Neto, I always have a fear of reversal when approaching a key level. How do you handle that? I mean, I always feel fear. That's something that never disappear. But I got better managing my emotions. So what I do now is just wait for the reaction on the key levels, and actually, I mean, with the experience you see, I mean, I have learned to draw, let's say, more reliable key levels. So now I have a lot of trust on my key levels. So that's the reason, like, I'm waiting for the reactions on my key levels. So here, I mean, can you see how this 182.57 was used first as a resistance, then as a support? So I mean, now I have a lot of confidence in my key levels, but that comes with experience, right? The thing is that, for example, I was talking to another trader yesterday, and he said, like, hey, you know what? I mean, I have my optimism and my pessimism, like, on the opposite side. Like, I am super pessimist on a green trade. It's like I'm always thinking that it's gonna reverse, but I'm also super optimist on my red trades because I'm always thinking that it's gonna reverse. So I mean, guys, you just need to try to do the opposite, right? If you have a green trade, just make sure that you are aware of the key levels so you can react to key levels. You can react to price action. Stop trying to guess. I mean, the moment you switch your mindset to a reactor instead of trying to guess what the price is about to do, it's going to be easier and you're going to trust more into your skills. Um, Joy, I found the ticker will always momentarily stop at different levels according to what I did in the near past. How do I differentiate or pick the level where the trend will stop? Well, I mean, you don't know, right? I mean, you never know. So uh, there's there's an advanced concept of the implied move or expected move, and that's kind of the statistical movement of the ticker. So, for example, SPY, the statistics say that usually it moves 2% to the upside or to the downside. So you need to get to know the name you are trading in order to understand how much of a movement can have. For example, Tesla. I mean, can Tesla move 10 points in a day? Of course, of course. That I mean, the name of Tesla, it's volatility, right? It's super explosive. Uh, ATR, the average true range. We have another nerd on the room. Yeah, but that's exactly the ATR. It's kind of the implied or expected move of a name. So if you get to know your name pretty much or pretty deep, you will start understanding. For example, as I was telling you, so SPY can usually it moves like 2%, and 2% now it's like 10 points, right? So if it opens at 5:30, I mean, I can easily expect to move to 5:40 or the same to 5:20, right? So, but that, I mean, if you don't know how to do the how to calculate the implied move, I mean, that's why I insist you guys. I mean, get to know the name that you are trading too deep that you can actually understand this kind of facts or stats, even if you don't have the knowledge of a calculator to do this. So if you understand how much Amazon moves on a day, I mean, you can start trading and you say, okay, well, I don't know, like Amazon moves 5 points on a day or 6 points on a day. And if you are already on a move and it's half the way, I mean, you don't expect another 6 points move, right? Because you already know that it's out of the average, it's out of the regular situation. So that's how you need to get to know the names that you are trading. And sorry if I'm just going too nerdy on this, but I mean, the most you get to know the names that you are trading, the most things that you can use on your advantage, right? And all right, I will have to. I saw that. All right, okay. So that was Amazon, guys. Did we talk about this third trade? For trading like this, like Tesla, Nvidia better or QQQ on spec? I I do like that. That's my personal preference. That's my personal experience. I mean, that's what I like. It's part of my style. It's part of my skill. This, this is not financial advice, but what I do, it's I like tech names better because I can use SPY and QQQ as a context, as reference, right? Just as we are doing now. So I'm choosing the name that has the same trend or direction than the indices. So it's an additional factor to everything that you are looking at, so you can choose better, right? I mean, for me, I think the tech names, if you match to the right data, you have, like better chances to have a green day. All right. So let's go to NVIDIA. Oh, okay. Oh my God, gosh, guys, I'm sorry, I'm taking too much time now, but we are explaining good things, right? Right? I mean, sometimes we explain topics like today, and I like it because I mean I'm not super advanced trader or like I don't teach. The fundamentals of stocks or anything, but I can share what has been working for me. So I hope you take advantage of this. All right. Okay. So this is NVIDIA. All right. So again, we are playing with the order blocks here. So we created two different order blocks here. So the first one this was this one. But once we broke this order block, we created this, and then we had this break, this placement, and look how many retests we have here, or at least very close here, right? So I don't remember what was the. No, I took Tesla. Yeah, this looked very similar to what I took, but this is an Nvidia trade. So we had this break, this placement, and retest of this previous high of the day. This is the new order block here. So we had this retest, and these are the kind of candles that I like. I mean, if we are looking for calls, we are looking for movement to the upside. These are the kind of wicks that I like. I mean, long wicks straight to our key levels. So what I like from this, it's two different things. So we are retesting this key level on the 15-minute chart. We are retesting this previous high of the day, and we are retesting this order block. So here we have this impulsive candle here. So let's say you open your position here right above this candle that retested everything that I told you. You open your position here, you look, you have your risk at the bottom of this retesting candle, or even a bit more. And then you are looking for the next key level or external liquidity. So here it's this previous day high. Yes, previous day high. So with this previous day high, it's, if you were looking or aiming to this was a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade, depending on how your risk was. But I mean, if you had just like this, it was a 1 to 2.4 risk reward ratio trade. However, I mean, if once you break this key level, I mean, you have nice candles to the upside. So maybe you trim your your trade here. It was a 1 to 2.8 risk reward ratio trade. Then we can have, look, you're gonna love this. So again, we can start moving our order blocks here, right? So this is our new high or previous high of the day, and you had this down close candle. So let's say that you have something like this, right? Like to the half of the body. So you have this down close candle. So this is the new order block here, and you had this break, displacement, and retest. All right. So if you had this, let's say that you open your position here, risk is at the bottom of the order block, and you were aiming to high of the day, This was a 1 to 2.3 risk reward ratio trade. But if you were aiming to the next key level, it was a 1 to 3.7 risk reward ratio trade. Okay, so can you see here? I mean, yes, probably you were kind of scared with this, but no candle here, no candle here, close below your stop loss level. And also, if you can see here, this is consolidation on this strong key level that we talked about a few minutes ago, right? And also here it was kind of this return to the upside on QQQ. So yeah, something like this. Something like this, right? Something like this. All right. So we had these two different opportunities here. And also, if you miss all of this and you were trying to find a new opportunity here, so we had this break, huge displacement and retest of the previous day high. So this is previous day high, 104.80. Yeah, this is 104.80, and we had this nice retest here. So let's say that you open your position here on the next candle. Yeah, maybe something like this, and you were risking the bottom of the retesting candle, and you were aiming to high of the day. So this was a 1 to 3.1 risk reward ratio trade. However, we didn't have any down close candle until here. So this is easily a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio trade. And maybe, I mean, because today was a very trendy day, but I mean, if you pull this to the new high of the day, something like this, and you pull this one, can you see? I mean, well, this is not a retest, but I mean that was very close. That was very close. So those are all the opportunities that I saw for Nvidia. So let's go to the next one. Let me take a look to the chat. $3 a.m. in your region. Where are you? China. All right. Yeah. Too late. From Malaysia. Why not? Okay. I took 9:41 Nvidia call. 9:41. All right. So, what was your thesis, Sven? Because I mean, can you see this? I mean, yes, this is a break, but this is immediate retest. As you can see, there's all of the candles pre-market high as this 103.75. But all of these candles are actually touching the pre-market high. So there's no displacement here. So momentum. I don't know, my friend. Look, what did you say? 941. Well, I mean, 941. Yeah, I mean, if you are considering momentum from the indices, maybe, but here that was not that clear. But it's nice that it worked for you. And where did you start trimming, Sven? 104.19 or 104.80? Sven, where did you start trimming? Dominic, personally, I will have been quite careful because of that 940. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah. This is kind of the rejection of the high of the day, right? Or the 5 minute opening range. Yeah, I mean, yeah, 47, 57, 57. Yeah, something like that. Few contracts. All right. Nice, nice. All right. Well, that's very good, this man. All right. So okay, so I had these two different. I had these two different plays for Nvidia. So as you can see, I was this morning. I told you I'm moving my order block box to the most important candles. For example, here this was kind of like the previous high of the day. Then we broke this placement and retest this order block here. So let's say that we open our position here and we go all the way up to 105.44, right? So this is these candles, even when they touch or they were very close to our stop loss level, they never close below that level, all right? So that's why we never close this position, or that's why we don't. I personally don't like to have a fixed stop loss, right? There's people or there's traders that they want, like, okay, well, I'm gonna have a 10% stop loss or 15% stop loss or whatever, 20% stop loss or whatever, right? What I like to do is to wait for a candle to close below my or above my stop loss level, right? So that's what I do. If look at this, I mean, these candle actually touch my stop loss level, so it will be very important, because if I have a fixed stop loss with a percentage or something like that, I will be stopped here and I will miss all this move, right? Okay, so the next opportunity here was this break, displacement, and retest of the previous day high. So this was also very easy to follow, even to the high of the day was a 1 to 3 risk reward rate to trade, and just here. So I think we already talked about this, right? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Tesla. This is the trade I took. So I had this break, displacement, and retest of the pre-market high, and I want to show you these guys because this was very, very important about my key levels and especially about my stop loss. I opened my position here. Not sure if you remember, but this DOI candle was actually green most of the time. But at the end of the candle, oh no, I'm sorry, was on this one. Okay, so this was the retest, and I actually like it. And the next candle, it turned green most of the minute, but then it went down. But I opened my position here, 951, and I had my stop loss to 252. Why 252? For being honest, I was just looking to the round number, and also I was looking for 255. So this was a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. So that was kind of my reasoning here. Probably if I will be like more strict here, I will have something like this is the candle that broke my level. So maybe if I had it like here, it was 252.16, probably I will be chicken out on this candle, because because several things, right? First one, because that was the next candle to when I entered to my position, and second, because it closed like right at the edge, right at the edge. But the next candles, it started to work. It started to work. So I'm gonna set this to 252 because that was my real stop loss level, and I don't want to mess with this. All right. So once we open here, high of the day was 1 to 1.3, so this is not working. We were looking to at least 255. All right. So 255 was my 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. And I got a few of my contracts here. And because how strong were the indices, I managed to hold my position. And actually, I took like 70% of my position here on 257.50. And then I closed my position here on the break of this order block. So right here it was like a 50% trade. I actually shared this on the Discord, and this actually worked well. The thing is that after this movement, Tesla lost momentum, or at least lost how the indices were moving. So I want to show you this, right? So once we hit this 257.50, I was thinking like, okay, well, I mean, if SPY just breaks this 539.85 key level, and also QQQ can reclaim high of the day, this is gonna go to my previous day high, 259.45. However, it started it lost it. I mean, it lost all of the momentum. So here, I closed my position here. I closed my last contracts around here. And look what happened with the indices. I mean, they were still pushing up. But Tesla, it just came down. So now it's it's opposite. It's opposite to the indices. That's why I decided just to close my trade here. All right. And hey, did it offer any other opportunity? Well, I think it does. It did. For example, if you were super technical, let's say that it broke high of the day. It had displacement and then retested the high of the day. And let's say that you open your position here. Risk, it's at the bottom of these wicks, and you were aiming to this 257.50. It was a 1 to 3.6 risk reward ratio trade, and all the others probably happen to be similar to this, right? Here 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio trade. So yeah, I mean, Tesla offered a few different opportunities. So that was all for today. Do you want to take a look to any other name? EA, will you open a short position at 257.50? I don't trade reversals. I just trade continuation. That's the break and retest all about. So I don't trade reversals. However, yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, I wouldn't today because the indices were pushing higher. But yeah, I mean, this was a nice point to take a reversal, I guess. Again, I don't trade reversals, but I trade continuation. That's the break and retest. But in my opinion, yes, this was a nice point because also it was kind of creating these head and shoulders on the 1 minute. I don't know. Palantir. Oof. What happened today? So Palantir, maybe this break and retest of previous day high. So if you were taking this, look, well, take a look to this. All right, so take a look to this. So what is going on right here? So you have the break, displacement, and retest of previous day high on Palantir, and what's going on the indices? I mean, guys, this is not magic. This is just all context. Okay, can you see this retest on the order blocks, previous high of the day? So this is a nice opportunity here. So let's say that you open your position on the second candle here. Your risk is below this previous day high, maybe 103.50, and you were looking for, let's say that you were looking for the 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. So 1 to 2 was 105, almost, something like this. Well, if you were looking to high of the day, you got it. It was a 1 to 3.2 risk reward ratio trade. It took forever. It took a lot, right? Like, I mean, it took like from 10:50 to 12, like an hour and a half. I hate these kind of trades. However, well, it was respecting market structure and it was respecting the indices trend. So yeah, this was a nice trade. So let me go to the other. Palantir was crazy today. Yeah. Netflix, Alex, what are you doing with Netflix? Okay. Well, I think it's very clear here, the break, displacement, and retest of this 5-minute opening range. And I mean, if you took it like here, maybe, and your risk is at the bottom of this candle, and you were looking for 180. Oh no. What was going on here? Mm-mm-mm. What's the? That's the 1 to 2 risk reward rate to trade. I mean, yeah, you could get. Okay, well, this actually went higher. You know what? That's the thing. I mean, I don't know Netflix. I mean, I don't know how it trades Netflix. So here, I mean, you had this nice. I mean, it was respecting market structure. Can you see here? I mean, we had this higher high, higher low, higher high, and this is a higher low, higher high. So yeah, I mean, this is textbook. It just this looks like kind of a deep pullback, but yeah, I mean, it could be. All right, so I think that was the only. Yeah, I think that was the only opportunity for Netflix. Okay. All right, 10:07. 10:07. Yeah. Something like this. Yeah. And your risk was like here. 1070. Something like this. And you were aiming to a 1 to 2 risk reward. 1080. Yeah. Something like this, Alex. Yeah, below the 5-minute opening range. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, again, I don't trade Netflix, so I'm kind of very unfamiliar to this name. But I think just looking at the chart, I think this is something that we can do, right? All right. Okay, guys. So that's all for me today. We spent an hour on something. I hope that you got a lot of value from this session. If you have questions, if you want to take a look to a different ticker and this, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell. That was good. All right. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.